companies were growing fat. And the beautiful part was the IT industry had no minister for information technology.
Yes.
They were caught unawares, but the IT industry was really making dollars for Indian people only because there was no interference or there was nobody to say anything कि आपको IT ऐसे करना चाहिए वैसे करना चाहिए और अगर करोगे तो हमारा इतना परमिशन चाहिए. And I think one day they started, I remember they put in one budget that this gentleman will now be the Minister for Information Technology. The whole IT industry, the stock market went down. कि भाई हमें तो इतना free था and now this is a dilemma that is coming to us. So that was the basic problem. But anyway, that's how India has to go. We need controls, but we don't need too many of them, especially in education.
Yes. Yes.
From your group, I see a lot of good numbers coming in. Some of them are my own students. I can see here people who are studying with me. Ayush is one of them. I can see there. Kevin is here.
Right.
We have like during when the lockdown started, we started with some of the book talks and then the topics which are pertinent in these days and whatever the people who had to say it out. So we have one intern with us, Kanchi Jain, and she took one session on foreign studies. Like she's a student herself, and
Yes.
she's looking forward to go outside India for her graduation. And she had done her side of research, and she was presenting her research. So the questions I shared with you were from her, and
she's a good student. She's very bright. I have interacted with her quite frequently. Yeah.
How are you?
Fine. Nice listening to. I saw your questions were very interesting.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have you here. I'm so excited for the webinar too.
Yes. Let's hope that you will enjoy what I have prepared.
Yes.
It's 5:05 and we can start. I'll introduce after Parag Bhai formally welcomes us, and then then Ajesh Bhai will take over.
So thank you for it's I would say it's a very heartful welcome to all of you. Ajesh Bhai, I know him since long, and I would definitely like to say a few words about Ajesh Bhai based on whatever interaction I had. So he is an entrepreneur with thorough professionalism, thorough honesty and integrity, always customer centricity in mind when we say customer centricity as well as stakeholder centricity. So if someone has to know how to, have a right balance amongst all stakeholders with integrity, with professionalism, with right approach, without, and that too at a very, very reasonable, reasonability in all aspects, I would say you need to meet him for once, whether you want to go out of country for studies or not. But if you get a chance, you need to visit him and meet him. I think that would be a great experience per se. So welcome you, Ajesh Bhai. We are very, very glad to host you here at Rajkot Management Association. I also welcome all my executive committee members, vice presidents, and our chairmen if they have joined, our secretary, honorary secretary, and of course our CEO who has organized this. I also welcome all our members and students and participants who have taken time to interact with Ajesh Bhai, and I'm sure this would definitely help you in meeting your objective. So thank you. Over to forum. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Parag Bhai. I have shared the context and the speaker information. I'll just read out so that we are all on the same page. In the difficult times of COVID coronavirus, how to prepare and go there for further education. This is one of the questions for the students who are looking forward to go outside India. and we'll cover all the questions and queries around that. Ajesh Bhai has over 25 years of knowledge in the field of international education. He has a solid experience having been a teacher of various subjects to include engineering, MBA, pharmacy, and many aspects of the same. He has an intense passion and devotion and has guided hundreds of students to destinations abroad, and many are well settled citizens of these countries now. Uh, Ajesh Kamania is an MBA and a B.Pharmacy Gold medalist from Manipal of the 1982 batch. He has successfully taught for many years and runs a prestigious company known as K7 International in Rajkot. He was a pioneer in teaching students computing, IS entrance, engineering, MBA, and many aspects over the course of last 25 plus years. He has given various training to students and helped them to get admission and visas, and his students are spread all over the world. He has given many value-added seminars in various colleges in India to prepare students for resume writing, interview skills, public speaking, and topics like career guidance in India and abroad, and is a reputed expert in this field. So, very glad to have you, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Param. Nice words. In fact, I was surprised. Why did I do all this? Uh, Most of it was passion for students. Continuously, I have lived with students almost all my life, and my career, 95% of it has been devoted to helping students to go abroad, or maybe even in India also. I have done a lot of work where we have got a lot of students who are basically looking at careers that really flourish. I'll share some live examples when we come to your question and answer. I received some good questions already, but I will focus. First of all, let me share with you what I have done here. Because it's a short time, I can probably speak for nearly 7 to 8 hours on this topic, but I'll do it in less than one. I will probably speak for around 40 minutes about various countries, and I'll present the 5 key countries where students go from India, and I will take a very India-centric approach. So these 5 countries are basically the countries which are where maximum Indian students will tend to go and study abroad. And they are the hot favorites of most of you. When I looked at these 5 studies and I said, okay, what does K7 International do? We basically located at Kalavad Road opposite Parimal School, and that is our contact address, and you can take a screenshot. So if you need to come and see us, we work 9 to 1, 3 to 7, Monday to Saturday. So do come, you're most welcome. Yeah. Here is a small one single page of what we really do. We are known as one-stop many destination. We teach students for various entrance exams which are needed for going outside. GRE, GMAT, SAT, and IELTS and Duolingo. We also provide services for admission and visa, and also we do immigrations to Canada. The countries we primarily work for is US, Canada, Australia, UK, Germany. These are our strengths. We are very good at these 5 countries, which I will discuss more in detail. And if you can come and see us at Kalavad Road, you probably will understand more about in-depth any other help that you need. Let me start because our topic is very clear that we want to talk about COVID as a definer, because this is a tough time for students. But there is always a silver lining to many of these clouds. The one thing that we learned with COVID was that universities were finding it difficult to get more students. So suddenly the competition became lower. And to attract students, universities also went into the phase where they started even offering more and more scholarships to students across. And this became a very big positive for people to look at themselves. And we have started seeing more students getting more scholarships. So this was one of the big positives that happened. The second thing that happened was the application processes became more flexible, because many people felt that we do not want to go and study online, or many other things came into the picture. But this resulted in better flexibility in application process. So COVID gave a better advantage. The other thing that we noticed was countries had to evaluate and see, okay, do we give online? Now, online was a basic, excitement. People wanted to do things online. But the moment we went to online, suddenly we realized that if we take everything online, it's going to kill the charm of being in a classroom. It's going to kill the charm of being basically involved with each other or getting the big advantage. And especially when you go abroad, you will see this advantage very huge. Because outside, when you do online and you do not meet your colleague, you're not actually enjoying that. Most of the students who study abroad basically enjoy the cross-cultural experience. I have met students who will tell me my classmate was from Nigeria, or I had a South Korean guy in my class, and I had a Japanese student here. So there was a big cultural advantage, especially courses like MBA and all these courses would definitely enjoy if you have students from different countries. This was a big positive advantage. Many countries have quickly evolved. They have also said we may not do 100% online. If the classrooms are very large, then we will do online. But in small classrooms or in small group classrooms, we will do a blended approach. We will do some online, some subjects we will teach blended if there are small number of students. So we'll do, they call it as a hybrid model. So this was a new concept that came in because of COVID. One wonderful thing that happened, in fact, one of the big reasons was students wanted to go and not only study, but they wanted to do PR. So they wanted PR as an advantage or permanent residency. So the big advantage that happened was PR gave them a big advantage. They could go and work part-time, full-time, work after studying. And this was a big advantage. You know, all countries will give you some time to study, to stay back and enjoy the experience of having studied in an international country and work there. This has not been affected at all. Even though Trump is also making a lot of noise to this, but believe me, it's not been affected at all. Visa process has already been resumed. We've started receiving already. We've received the third visa for UK. We've applied for 7 already, and this process will continue. A lot of students are searching for flights now to travel. So the visa process already resumed. Yesterday, USA student visa has resumed. Germany has resumed student visa. Britain has resumed all types of visas. So that's going to be an advantage. Now visa process have resumed, so nothing to worry. A new test known as Duolingo has also started coming into the advantage apart from IELTS. So we have this as an advantage coming in. So these were the new things that happened because of COVID. But I'm sure we'll still go a long way. Let us go next and see the thing that would look at. Why should I go abroad? This was the first question many people asked. The one thing is global exposure. You meet people from all over the world. You know, in a single, most countries have students in a campus close to around 5,000, 8,000, 10,000 students from abroad, from around 100 countries. So you are going to have a huge exposure across the world sitting in 100-acre campus. The other advantage is there is a huge emphasis on practical training. Countries like UK also give you advantage of staying back for 1 year and just do practical training, work live via the campus, do projects. Many countries give you a lot of advantages. In fact, contrasting to India, more than 60 to 65% of the learning abroad is more practical. Classic example, Indian student engineering will do 30 to 35 hours of classroom and lab in a week. An international student will only do around 15 to 18 hours. Classroom is only the rest of the time, 20 hours odd per week, is also spent on doing projects, experiences, group studies, discussions, assignments. This is a great job. Believe me, you meet people, interact, think differently. Right? So you spend more time in libraries. So the libraries are large and focus is on the library, focus is on learning, focus is on not depending on the teacher continuously, focus is on becoming independent. So this was the big advantage of going abroad. Right? So when I look at this as a huge advantage. The other advantage is cutting edge technology. I can tell you most of the research that is happening in the globe across, except for India, probably is happening in countries where their laboratories are basically powerhouse of research. Classic example, Oxford University corona vaccine was the first today to hit the market, the first to do phase 3 trial. See, you can understand the professors there are very much involved in their research. They are not just teaching, but they are involved in frontline technology. They are involved, they've got a lot of equipment, they've got a lot of technology, they've got everything. And this is a big advantage that you can see. Oxford University was the first in the market. They are already doing phase 3 trials by the Oxford University, and probably one of the most fantastic work that they have done. They have excellence in many fields. If you see the Nobel Prize winners across the world, you will see most of them come from universities. They will be professors, teachers, people doing something across, and that's a basic advantage that you will probably enjoy, right? Job opportunities, tremendous, right? Students start, when they go to campuses like this, they start by basically getting involved with work part-time, they get involved with full-time jobs. So this is a huge advantage. If you see them, they will be very keen because they have to shell out some of the money which their parents have spent. This job opportunity gives them big advantages. They make them more responsible, they make them more mature, they make them more interactive, they network with more, they understand their parents' hardships, and probably this is a great thing that is happening. I would say that if I would send anybody outside, I would say that make this boy go outside or make this girl go outside, primarily because he is going to be an independent, responsible citizen of the world. And in fact, he is getting so much exposure by so many things. If you can look at global exposure, practical training, and so many advantages that this was one of the things that I always wanted to talk about. Yes. Money, of course, yes, we all do want to get the money, but I would say money will not compensate the other advantages. But I would want to focus on the staff, on the faculty, on the teachers, right? I can tell you this, my experience with meeting a lot of teachers, interacting them, many times they come to Rajkot and share. We had a teacher last year who came from Colorado State University to our campus. That gentleman had published 200 research papers of his. 200, you cannot imagine. He is a fellow of the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. Only 0.2% of the members are basically a fellow of the same organization. In fact, it's a big advantage. This gentleman came, I was amazed at his knowledge. He works for companies which are in the nuclear science, in technology. He was basically a professor of robotics. Migrated from Poland, went to US, became a PhD, studied there, and then became a full-time professor in the university. And immense potential, right? You can see these are the guys who stay in the university. They do not want to do anything else. They want to teach. In fact, that's the passion, right? So that's the biggest advantage that you can look at. Many times when we look at this, is a survey that said that what advantage they got. 94% said their resume became stronger because they had overseas education as part of their curriculum, right? So this was basically what you would look at, right? And in fact, that was one of the big advantages that I would say that made this person. Here is out of the 1 million international students, where are they right now? 47% of them basically came in for US, which is the #1 destination. Today, yes, Canada, UK become #2 and 3. Germany, yes, very hot destination in numbers, and Australia. These 5 countries are basically the biggest destinations across the world. And in fact, you would definitely see this as a huge advantage all the time. Um, Forum, could you help me move that window from the top, the waiting room thing, please? Thank you.
It is going and coming. Like,
Yeah, I think it gave me a message saying that can you remove this from that side? I don't know whether you can move it or not. I don't know.
no, I
Just help
couldn't.
me.
I couldn't.
Okay, okay,
It is not visible right now.
okay, okay. So when we look at the countries that I'm sharing with you, I start with USA because it's the largest country in many formats. Not in population. India and China will beat it, right? But in population of the countries that we work with, US is the largest population, 331 million people, right? And this is its biggest advantage. Across that entire country, you will see close to around 2,000 universities. No country, if I combine US, Canada, if I combine UK, India, and all the other countries together, they will still not make 2,000 universities. In fact, that's the biggest advantage. USA has the largest number of universities in the world. And not only that, because of that number, look at this. 57 of the top 100 universities across so many rankings I can see, more than over 50, 55 of the top 100 universities are American, right? In fact, if somebody were to ask me choice number one, I would say yes, USA. Trump or no Trump, forget that guy. Just forget Trump, but I would still say the highest quality that you will ever get is in the United States. Unfortunately, yes, there are a lot of dilemmas after you study, so that's why people, slightly hesitant. But the times of Bill Clinton, in the times of Barack Obama, we had a huge volume of people using US as their number one choice. In fact, today, if I want to study, I would still say United States will be unparalleled in terms of education. Education is very flexible in the US, so that's a big advantage. They give you a huge volume of scholarship. They are richly funded. They have a lot of money. In fact, the maximum scholarships we would ever get is from the US. We have students, I will share with you in one of my slides, scholarships of nearly $100,000. I have a student who's gone for a PhD, is fully funded for 6 years. He will be paid by his university 100%. He will not spend anything of his own. Another advantage of the US is that you can get a post-study work permit after you finish. If you are a non-science student, then you will get a 1 year post-study work visa. But if you are a science student or a science or technology student, engineer, or a physiotherapist or a nurse or a dentist, you are allowed to stay there and work for 3 years, live full-time job. And this gives the pathway to getting your H1 visas and your green cards. And this is why a lot of people went to the United States. In fact, currently, if I see last year, 225,000 Indian students went to the US. Right? Last year, 225,000 Indian students. That's a huge number. In fact, we are the number two sending population across the world. We are only overtaken by the Chinese guys. We are the number two population in the United States as far as studying goes. And you can see that effect. Sundar Pichai, you can see Satya Nadella, you can see guys from MasterCard, you can see all the top shots. There are Indians. NASA says we have 30% scientists from India. So this is a huge volume. Right? You can't beat that at all. In fact, Kamala Harris, now, talk of the town that yes, she's basically having an Indian origin. So definitely we can be proud that yes, we are making an impact after having studied. A lot of them have settled. There's a huge gang of technologists, professionals, a lot of people who can help you. In fact, that's his biggest advantage. As I wrote there at the bottom is 2,000 plus universities in the US, in fact, bringing education right. And the campuses are amazing. 1,000 acres, 1,200 acres, 1,500 acre campus. Like you would go crazy just visiting one of these campuses. I have seen a lot of them. Believe me, all of them are massive. 1,100 acres, State University of New York, I visited, or I visited Virginia Tech, 2,500 acres, right? It's like walking through a marathon when you finish seeing one campus a day. And I've been to Harvard and MIT also, amazing. I mean, you cannot even imagine. The experience of having seen those campuses, makes me feel that yes, our students should be going there. In fact, I can share a small story. When I went to MIT, the undergraduate student union, the president was a girl from India. And she was the president of the MIT undergraduate student association. I clicked her photograph somewhere, and I was really impressed that yes, we Indians are making a dent wherever we go, and that's our greatness. The next country I would take is UK. Another fantastic country, broken up into four parts: England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. Population of 67 million. But Very interesting. UK's big interest is lying in the next slide. 20 of the top 100 universities are British. Of course, you cannot forget Oxford, Cambridge, and Imperial College. These three universities are always in the top 10, always in the top 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 numbers. Oxford, Cambridge, they are pillars. You'd be surprised. Oxford was founded in the year 1095, right in the 11th century. Oxford is the 11th century institution. Harvard in the US is already 380 years old. Oxford is 900 years old. Cambridge is around 700 years old. Imperial College, even a small college in Britain, Leeds Beckett, founded 1824. Manchester University, founded 1824. They are celebrating 200 years of existence, right? In our country, you will not find this except maybe for Mumbai University, anything which says 200 years of existence, you know. If you look at Gujarat, nothing more than 25 years, 20 years maybe. The MS University, Baroda is around independence time, 70 years of age, but nothing reaching 200, you know. So you can see this big advantage. The other big advantage that I love about Britain is the sandwich courses. They invented the sandwich and they also invented the sandwich course. If you're doing for a 3-year undergraduate degree, you can actually finish it in 4. The first and second year you go for class. The third year you will go and work full time. And then the fourth year, you will come and do your third year of education. A full 1 year's work experience gives you so much of insight because you will work in your own field. You will work full time and you will be exposed to so many things that you will then understand and go back to your classroom in your final year. And once you get out of that also and you go and do a job, this sandwich is really the greatest thing in Britain. Even a master's degree, which is a 1-year master's degree, you can also do a 1+1 where they will sandwich the second year as part of your working experience. So it's a great thing. Like USA gives you 3 years of post-study work permit, UK gives you 2 years of post-study work permit, but it also adds another 5-year option that is known as a tier 2. A tier 2 option that they will add, which you can get for another 5 years. So you could be doing a master's degree for 1 year or 2 years, and you could do 2 years of post-study work permit, and then you could do another 5 years. So you have around 8 to 9 years of time where you can actually understand, you know, what knowledge and what education you build up. Number of universities, 130 plus, right? So, but big, huge universities and large campuses. In fact, you would probably even enjoy more than 100 odd countries you will find in most of the universities, and a huge variety of courses, more than 70, 80, 90, 200 types of courses, and beautiful courses and very, very focused. I have a course known as an MBA in digital marketing, right? Which probably very few universities would be able to give you a hard-focused MBA in digital marketing. Today's order of the day. I have got MBAs in so many other subjects that people are going. Technical courses, plenty to find, you know, and huge new infrastructure, not old. Even Oxford has spent a lot of money, close to around 300 million pounds, building in new infrastructure. So please go and look at UK as a very great option. Yeah, Canada, hot favorite of the day. Now, population is only 37 million. Neighbor America is 331 million. Britain population is 67 million, right? But here you can probably see a large country, but only the 80% of the people live on the border of the United States because that is the only place where the climate is a little bit conducive. If you see on the map, Yukon, Nunavut, Northwest Territories, largely uninhabited and probably very much snowbound, 4 to 5 months a year. Good population in British Columbia, or Ontario, Ottawa, Toronto, all this bordering the, if you see all the big cities, you will see them very closely bordering United States. Victoria, Regina, Winnipeg, Ottawa, Toronto, New Brunswick, you would find all of them mostly on the border of the United States because their dependency on the United States is large. Right? Number of universities, only 96 universities in Canada, and a lot of colleges. So they focus to give students college degrees, where US had 57 of the top 100 and UK had 20. We could see that yes, the Canadians have only 8 of the top 100 universities in the world. But yes, Canada is a big draw, largely because of the PR. They today offer you the easiest permanent residency program, so that is basically an advantage that you would definitely want to get from Canada. Most people who are going to Canada are going there because the PR process is transparent and easy to go to. So that is why Canada is a big draw. 8 of the top 100 universities are Canadian, whereas 57 are American, 20 are British, and then you find 8 Canadian. But again, good country to study. Lot of Indians going in last year. If I look at the numbers, they were close to around 130,000 students went from India to study in Canada. The requirement Canada has got is it has got an aging population, and the aging population not growing. So they want to import people, but if they import people, the best way to bring them in is bring them in as students who will stay there for 2 years, and then they will give them a 3 year stay work permit. And because of this, Canada has become very popular. It's the country that gives you 3 year time for you to get your PR. So people feel very comfortable. A lot of students are doing very well. Canada is a very friendly country also. This is one big positive side. The government of Canada is very friendly to students as well as to immigrants. It is a large immigrant welcoming population, and that is why it's a big draw. The other thing is cost-wise also Canada is very economical. So that is also why students would want to prefer Canada as a big destination, right? Australia. Weather-wise, I would say India and Australia probably would share a lot of commonalities. When it's hot, it's really hot. But when it's cool, yes, definitely it's really cool. So people really like Australia. Population is lower. It's only 25 million. And Australia has a big draw in the sense that it has 44 universities there, and nine of the top 100, you have 9 universities. The big draw in Australia is that their minimum wage for part-time is around $18. So it's a great thing, and they give you a lot of scholarships. Again, Australia is very well known for giving scholarships on its fee structure. The work permit to stay back after you finish is ranging from 2 years to 3 years or 4 years also. The PR is possible. Slightly it has started becoming more difficult, but still it is possible to get a permanent residency in Australia. Definitely, a lot of people do want to go to Australia and settle down, and that's an advantage that they would look at, right? So you can look at Australia for good quality education. Their universities are large, very large universities, and very well structured, very well controlled by the government. So that is basically what you would look at in Canada, in Australia. Germany, large country, 82 million and 330 odd universities. So it's a big country in terms of size. One of the biggest economies like UK. Germany also has a very old university system. University of Heidelberg, 1385. Very old universities you will see in Germany. But the biggest advantage of Germany is that tuition is almost free. If you are a good candidate, you need not pay any tuition fees or very low, like 300, 400 euros, maybe 500 euros, up to 2000 euros you can. So the education in Germany is very high quality education. Positive side, Germany is a great country to go to, great country to study. A lot of Indians, now it is becoming a much larger requirement. A lot of engineers, because if you see, it is the technical and automobile hub. In fact, I would still call it the precision hub of the world. A lot of precision engineering, a lot of quality, accuracy. Germans are known for being very particular about precision. And because there is free education, people who have budget constraints, right, they can probably be very well settled in Germany. The small dilemma is having known a little bit of German language and to study. We provide that assistance also. If you want to study German language, you can definitely connect with us. You at all. So that is also another thing that we do. But the free education is a big draw. Always remember, if you're an average or a good student, definitely This is one of the big positives that you can carry and study in Germany free of cost. So it's a huge thing. Germans are friendly. You don't have any problem. Sometimes it will require for you to understand the language, but I'm sure we have a lot of students also in Germany, right? Everywhere part-time jobs are available. In all these countries, you can do 20 hours during classroom and 40 hours during vacation, so you can work full-time. In the United States, you need to be in campus and work. Rest of the countries, you can work outside campus also. Right? It gives you a lot of advantages, makes you more interactive, makes you more stronger. So I would say that yes, working is basically going to be one of the big advantages that you will get while you are there. So please understand that doing a part-time job is a lot of advantage, right? This is the advantage of part-time job, the money advantage. I have put a calculation here where Canada offers you a $14 per hour as a part-time job. So if you do 14 hours part-time for the classroom and full-time during vacation, you can still end up doing around $17,000 a year. So you can become rich by yourself without having to depend on your parents to, manage your payroll. You can do your own payroll. In fact, Canada has been very, very strong. Most countries will give you these type of advantages to work part-time, full-time, classroom and non-classroom. So you can definitely earn your way through, right? The only one requirement that is there is, in fact, I would say two requirements: a powerful academic. You have to have good knowledge, the subject that you are doing in India. If you are good at it and you just have a good English requirement, this is the only thing that you need. IELTS is a great thing that you can do. We offer you a lot of options in IELTS to do classroom, non-classroom, online classes. And if government permits to do classroom, then we will also be able to do this sooner or later. But the only common requirement across all these countries is IELTS. So you could probably get that as an advantage. You can come to us at K7 International and complete. If you want to take a snapshot of this, I think it would be good for you, because this shows what type of documents you need. When you process an admission, you need a set of documents that are important, right? If you are going for bachelor's, then the letter of recommendation, the statement of purpose, good quality mark sheets, that means good marks that I am talking about, a small resume that shows what you were about, a good set of extracurricular activities, an IELTS or a Duolingo score. And if you're going to US, then you need a SAT score. Or if you're going to the US for masters, you need a GRE and a GMAT score. So this remains your admission requirements. I'm just waiting. If you have finished, I'll move forward. Very simple admission requirements, not too much to worry about. I did a small FAQ. Did COVID affect admissions? No, not yet. We've already started UK visas. We've started receiving. People are ready to fly to UK right now. USA, yes, some of them are planning. Canada also, we have students going, or they are going to do online in this semester, and then they will do by January. Everything should be normal as we hope. And January 2021 and September 2021, everything should be normal. But this is the right time, because if you look at my second FAQ, when do I have to start preparing? Then I must say that I must start preparing at least a year in advance. That's a great fast way to do it. But even if you do it 6 months in advance, because you need IELTS, you need documentation, you need to apply, you need to get the answers, you need to collect your money, you need to show that money, then you have to apply for visa. It does take a lot of time. In fact, my team is here full of support. So we keep on working with students on and off every day, so that even you need to take medical checkups and things like that before you go. So all these countries, the process is a longish process, so we need to work on that. Part-time jobs is a question. You can work in cafeteria, you can work as a teaching assistant, you can work in libraries. You can see those images there. If you're a master student, you'll easily get a job as a teaching assistant, maybe helping undergraduate students do some small classes, revision, stuff like that. Many students work in library, many students work in Starbucks, they work in Walmart, so a lot of our students are working as various different types of jobs. So I'm sure you can find one on your own. And universities, they have got a lot of student center. They will help you to get a part-time job. Is it easy to manage studies along with jobs? See, it's very simple. 12 to 15 hours of lecture, not a big difficulty. Right? So there's plenty of time to balance this. And this is the biggest blessing that you will get. You'll earn your money, your parents will be a bit more relaxed, and also that you will get a lot of experience, contacts, network, right, responsibility. So this is a big advantage that I would share with students, that please do a part-time job. Try and think of doing that's a big advantage that you will get. Best application for admission, scholarship, everything starts from where you are right now. If you have fantastic academics, we have a student I was talking to her today morning. She has a 9.4 out of 10. I've sent a student to University of Berkeley in California from Nirma. The gentleman amazed me with his mark sheets. 4-year engineering student, the lowest marks he had was 9.3 out of 10 out of 8 mark sheets. 9.3, 9.4, 9.3, 9.4. This was the average. Every semester he was head on head. He had nothing less than 9.3, 9.4. You can imagine this guy. He's amazing. Right? He had a full scholarship, University of California, Berkeley. Top 10 in the world. Right? And he's a computer science student. So I've got so many students like this. I had a guy I sent for a PhD doing quantum computing. Right? Fantastic guy. Full scholarship. He is paying nothing for his PhD. In fact, his professor told him, I can even give you your air ticket if you want. I can sponsor you. He's going to, he's already gone. He's a second year right now, and he's doing a fantastic job because he's paying nothing. In fact, the college giving him stipend for even his staying expenses. You can imagine. The guy must be really born out of luck, right? Lot of projects, lot of internships. There's a lot of things to do. If you are involved in campuses, there's so much that you can do in these campuses. Believe me, the type of things students do is amazing, right? Standardized tests, particularly GRE, particularly SAT. If you do well, you still end up getting big scholarships, right? So these are things that you have to work about. Many of these guidance you can get because it's a long-winded process. Each one of you are individual. I have shared with you where we are. Just opposite Parimal School, Karawat Road. You can definitely walk in anytime and you can meet us, right? Scholarships are tremendous. I will share with you the next slide. Yeah. Here we have one girl, Dhruvi Thakkar, going to University of Denver. Right? She has a scholarship of $128,000 for 4 years. Right? This includes scholarship for staying and scholarship for studying. Right? We have another girl, Khushi Changela. She has a Nova Southeastern University, has a scholarship of $72,000. Another university also, she has a scholarship of $36,000. So you can imagine scholarships are plenty, but you have to start early. This is important. Start early, plan early, think early. Don't be Indian. Don't do everything at the last moment. Dhoni can hit a six, but none of us are Dhoni, right? Once upon a time, Dhoni can hit a six off the last ball and he can save us. But this also does not happen all the time. Right? We have lost World Cups also, and we have had Javed Miandar hitting a six against us. Right? And Pakistan took the cup. So we have to understand that yes, sometimes we also are on the receiving side of the problem. So understand this is a great thing that yes, scholarships are plenty. If you are smart, you can get them, right? Our entire process is this simple, right? It's a 7-stage process from understanding you, from doing the test, from giving you help in selecting the country, the college, the course, finding your right documents, helping you make those letter of recommendation. And once you finish that, then you have application review. Sometimes universities ask you to go for visa and do an interview. Then we help you in the interview process. We do mock interviews and we do visa counseling, everything, and then you apply for the visa. In our team, we have a lot of people in my family. My wife looks after Canada. My son looks after US. I look after UK and Australia. We have another brother who basically looks after the entire overall process, helping you in visa processing and things like that. So my younger brother, Dipesh, helps in that particular format. And plus my team is very friendly, super friendly, I would say. We work with students on a one-to-one basis every time. So you will feel comfortable, not feel scared to meet. We are not too big boss. We are cool guys. We understand our kids well. And I think that's our positive. Forum, I probably finished most of the things that I wanted to speak. most of the thing that I would say is that yes, it's not so tough. Money is also, don't feel that I need money, right? Paisa na hoy to kai problem nathi. Maro ek જ, I have sent a girl whose father was a truck driver, and she's gone to Canada. She's now working. She finished a 2-year course. She's now doing her 2+3, the 3 year of time. She's now going to apply for her work for her PR in the short while from now. She got a lot of help from us, and we have got students, amazing students who can go. They didn't have money. I can tell you that. Either we got them help from sponsoring via bank or bank loan or so many other processes, so that the student can enable themselves to go. So don't just think, paisa જોઈએ છે એટલે paisa નહીં હોય તો નહીં જઈ શકીએ. Not an issue. I would say just close your eyes, start thinking, I must go, and you will be there before you realize. Right. So thank you very much, Parag Bhai and Forum and the team of RMA. I'm very happy to share my knowledge and information with students. I will take your questions, Forum, if the students have typed in or if they want to ask live, not an issue. Right?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I will request participants to post questions in the chat box. I will start with my question. Like, is there any age limit? Like, if I plan to go after 10 years for PhD or higher studies, so is it possible?
I have different countries based on your experience. Supposing you have had a gap, we can still send you. It's not a problem. I have a student right now who is 36 years of age, worked in Dubai for 8 years, and now already his offer letter is with me, and I'm sending him to UK to study. He is married, so his wife will also join him. She will get the option of working full time there while he is studying. So that is also a positive advantage. I have one more person who is having a child. She will take husband, wife, and child. Right. So 3 of them will go. The husband also can work full time there. My suggestion is that English language is a big key. So if you have that strength, you should think very fast and not worry. So gap is not a big problem, but some countries have a limitation. Say, for example, Canada is slightly limited in terms of too big a gap. But based on individual cases, we can work with you. It's not a big problem. Yeah.
Interesting.
10 years is not a problem.
Interesting.
The lady is going as graduate in 2006. So she is 14 years before she did her last education. Her BBA was done in 2006. We have got her an offer letter from 2 universities.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
Namaste, sir. We have a question for Priyank Vachani, which country is better for pursuing masters in cybersecurity, Canada or Australia?
See, cybersecurity, if you look at, yes, Australia is a good country to look at if you're looking for a degree course. Canada, yes, there are good courses in cybersecurity also, but they are more in the postgraduate diploma level. Otherwise, you can go and study a broader perspective of doing computer science first. The other country that probably not been asked is United States. They also have good courses in cybersecurity. UK has good courses in cybersecurity also. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. We have a question for Mihir Nayak. He says, understanding the current Indian trend of doing masters immediately after graduation is something which I'm confused about. Currently, I'm a part of a youth-run organization, and I'm planning to complete my graduation next year and take a national role in the same organization. After working for 3 years, so should I pursue my masters, considering the fact getting back to studies would be difficult?
Yes, this does happen to many students, and I can look at it like this, that I have one group of students. When I analyzed their history, I had one group of students who went immediately after they finished. And the second group of students I have are not the guys who have 2 or 3 years of work experience. They come to me after 6 years and 7 years of duration. So I think that 3-year problem does exist. At the end of 6 or 7 years, they suddenly realize that their careers sometimes are not going anywhere. I have a guy working in a very prominent bank, not in Rajkot, but very prominent bank, the top three private banks in probably in our country. But he is not happy with the way he is earning 45,000 rupees a month in India. Right, graduate 2016. Right, 4 years of this. Now he's thinking, okay, by next year September, I will quit this job and I will go. This 5 years now that will happen. So 3 years I think is a issue. Sometimes they get married, then they see life is not going too far, and then they want to. With 45,000 salary, I would really worry to leave. So there is a trap there. Yes. Next
Now we have a
question.
question from someone in the chat box. They are asking, which country would you recommend for masters in finance?
Master in finance, in fact, I would say more or less all the countries have good courses. I would not say any country one is better than the other. If I say US, then Wall Street, and they invented the MBA. So Masters in Finance is a great place. Britain, London was the great place for the financial capital before US took over in the end of World War II. So historically, these two countries are good. Canada also has a good Masters in Finance course. So does Australia. So I don't see too much of a change, except Germany. I can put you in finance in almost all those four countries. Shouldn't be a problem. You still have to do a case-to-case study, relatives, friends, support system, and many other factors will also start building into the system.
And
Next question.
is, where is the great scope for psychology and what is SOP?
Okay. Psychology, yes, Canada, good country to go. Same thing, US. Again, psychology is broken up into many parts. You could be doing educational counseling as psychology, helping students with learning difficulties and stuff like that. You could be doing clinical psychology, right, where you could help students, we help people with depression like Sushant Singh Rajput, you would have needed a psychologist. Or you could have people with extreme psychological disturbance like schizophrenia and disconnect and stuff like that. So psychology is a very broad subject, right? To do the brain is basically the biggest problem that we have and the biggest advantage. So you could do education psychology, clinical psychology, abnormal psychology, right? You could also be doing industrial psychology where you could help workers overcome difficulties of their life, family, and stuff like that. So I would suggest that person to probably look at coming and seeing me. I can give him a whole lecture on psychology per se, right? And then we can take it from there. But all the countries you can get good courses. Not a big problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have our next question from Saloni Sachdev. She's asking, is it
Yeah.
too late to start applications for fall 21? I'm targeting MIS or Masters in Business Analytics in specifically the USA.
Saloni, if I go back to my slide and I look at where I was somewhere back, number 2, I'll give you your answer directly here. When do I have to start preparing for going abroad? We recommend at least planning 1 year in advance. So you are very much on target, Saloni. Nothing to worry. You have got everything that you can do, but don't delay further than this. The best person that you will do services to yourself is start now. You can inquire, start thinking, look at courses, look at university, look at budgets. Everything is perfect on your time. Nothing to lose.
We
Yeah,
have a
next.
question from Rahul Varandani. He's asking, is it possible to apply for an undergrad program now, as in for 2020 and 2021 academic year?
I didn't get an undergrad program now, means going in September.
Yes, yes.
September would be very, very tough for most countries, right? Unless you have everything ready, like your IELTS is done or your mark sheets are through, your letter of recommendation, etc., etc. Then you can look at it. Maybe touch and go. Some countries, not everything. But otherwise, January intake is available in almost all the countries. So you can do it slowly and steadily because you will need to do a lot of good work and get that much needed scholarships also. So it's not good to hurry up today, but January you will not have a problem. You will not have a problem to get into January. There was one question that I didn't answer known as SOP. Somebody asked me, an SOP is known as statement of purpose. You have to write by yourself why you have chosen that particular country, that particular course, and that particular university. The statement of purpose is what is your purpose for doing that study. So it may helps you examine yourself. So this is known as an SOP, which helps you examine yourself as a person that why and what course you want to pursue, right? So that is known as an SOP, right? So that is what you have to do. All applications across the world will ask you for an SOP without fail. The whole world, right? Everywhere you apply, you will need an SOP. It is a must document. Yeah, next.
Meher Nayak is grateful for your answer, and he apparently got a lot of direction. Our next question is again from Priyank
Okay.
Vachani. He's asking, is Germany good for masters in cybersecurity? Because I want to pursue my masters in this field only. So, sir, what would you suggest? And is there any
I'll tell you, cybersecurity is a great course to do. I am all for it. A few years back, we had this gentleman who was India's first cybersecurity expert, and we called him at Atmiya College in a full house auditorium. I forget his name, very young chap. He was an ethical hacker, and he taught a lot of guys from Rajkot what cybersecurity was all about. And believe me, it's a great course to do. It's a much big requirement. So nothing to worry. But if in case you want to more help, then I would suggest come personally anytime that you can. There's not too much of an appointment system with us, but our phone numbers are there. I'll ask you to take a screenshot of the phone number that you can call us up on. Right, it's there, right, visible to you. Screenshot and Priyank, just come over. That's all. There are no charges for consulting. There are no charges for anything. You'll only get a nice, friendly welcome and a good set of time. Bring your parents if you want to. Is no issues about it. K7 will always welcome you because we have worked for students all our lives and we have never had a problem. We enjoy your questions full time. So don't worry at all. You will be welcome with the same smile I have right now. So just come. That's it. Yeah. Yes.
Our Honorable Secretary Paresh Gosai says, thanks a lot, Mr. Kamania, for this very interesting session. All
Yes.
youngsters are very much satisfied by live interaction.
I,
And I
I,
can confirm that.
I also see an old Deepak Bhai. I have not.
Ajesh bhai,
Please.
Ajesh bhai, this
Please.
statement of purpose has spurred something in my mind. So, do you
Yes.
think, because I have observed that writing a statement of purpose is, like is looks simple, but it's a very difficult task basically. Can we do
Yes.
something? RMA and K7 can do something for students at a large, and that's my question.
That's my mastery. In fact, if you see, I work with most of my students doing their SOP whenever they are going abroad. And I have a lot of depth in that. We can definitely do a lot of work on a statement of purpose. It helps even nowadays. Indian university have started asking for SOP, so
Yeah,
it will help them even if they are applying in India. So
correct.
definitely, anytime you call me, I am
Forum,
glad to do
please
that.
note
In fact,
this. Yes, yes, Ajay bhai. Thank you so much. Forum, please note
Deepak
this, and I
Bhai, my
think we
old
can.
friend, is somewhere online.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, Parag bhai, sure. And yes, Deepak bhai always joins the session. He attends the whole
yes,
session and takes pleasure in, in seeing the movement he has started 30 years back with his fellow mates and how it is helping still today
yes.
and how people are
In
able to
fact,
take
in those
through.
early days, I used to be very closely associated with RM and Deepak Bhai. That's where I learned. In fact, Parag Bhai and all that whole group was there. In fact, and Deepak Bhai was one of the pioneers there. Very quiet gentleman. Yeah.
There are like last one or two questions, and then we can
Please.
ask students to come and visit you. There's from Kush,
Yeah.
and yeah, there's only one, I guess. So, Kanchi, you
Yeah.
can
Kush.
check out, and we
So,
can.
There's a question from Kush. He says, I'm giving my SAT retest on 26 September. Would it be
Yeah.
possible to get into the Jan 2021 batch? I'm planning for cellular anatomy biology course, and I have shortlisted my choices for colleges too.
Okay, Kush, if you are giving in September, I'm sure it won't be too late, but you need to start doing the parallel process of your documentation. Then only it will be easy because, what we do is we wait for SAT to get over, then we start the documentation. At least one of your family members should be running to school and getting your letter of recommendation. Somebody should arrange your finances. So when you do it parallelly, you will save time, because once the SAT is over, then the results will come after 2 weeks, and that will be end of September. Then only October and November. So my suggestion is to do a little bit of parallel process. Right, you should have no problem getting into those courses. You are a B group student, anatomy, cellular microbiology is great course to do. Not a problem. If you need help on SAT, you can come. I have a lot of books on SAT, particularly because we have a lot of people we have trained. I can make you sit do some live exams also, test free of cost. So don't worry. If you need help, come. Yeah.
Saloni and Priyank, thanks you, and they look forward to visit your office anytime
Yes,
soon.
we would be glad to have all of you whenever you are ready. So I'm happy to answer any questions personally, because we do 1 hour to 2 hour consulting sessions with students, just to understand them and help them to answer their questions. And that's a normal process. If you come to sit with me, please come with an hour in time, right? Minimum. અમે વાતોડિયા છે એટલે અમે ઘણી બધી વસ્તુ શેર કરી શકીએ. That's our advantage. Yeah, we love to talk.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
If Paresh bhai is here, thank you Kanchi for helping us with the Q&A part. If you have any of your question, or if you want to share, like whether you have where you are currently in terms of the timeline where you are looking forward to go, you can close that with, and Paresh bhai can end the session with the closing remarks, formal vote of thanks.
Yes, actually, I have a question of my own. So you said practical knowledge is the key highlight of international education system. So what are some of the best universities are doing right now to manage that element in this time of COVID-19, where online classes are the only way to go?
Let me share with you one lovely webinar we had from a British university, University of Manchester, last week, and how much of strength they build up. I was really impressed with that. The vice chancellor was talking, and he said, in the time of COVID, how have we changed? I can share with you one example. We used to work 9 to 5 from Monday to Friday before COVID started. In September, we and the entire university have committed to work 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, Monday to Saturday, just so that we can take students with small batches and teach them in classrooms. Right? So imagine they have changed from 9 to 5 to 9 to 9, and Monday to Friday to Monday to Saturday. Now you can imagine the type of flexibility you need, because if I talk the same thing in India, everybody will worry, "Arey yaar, 5 વાગે મારે ઘરે જ જવાનું." So
Yes,
you can understand
that is
flexibility,
very
and this is a vice chancellor making a commitment. It's not easy for them to make a commitment. Our university has agreed to do this for our students, right? So that is the type of passion that you have. I met one professor who was also talking about passion. He said, all my staff, all my team, my entire department, this guy was a teacher of molecular biology in a university in Britain. And he was saying, all my staff and all my teachers, okay, we have said very clearly that our master student will all do research at least in one paper every term, even though it is not part of their curriculum, because we want to teach them the research thinking, to ask questions and then go ahead. And that is what research is required. And it takes a lot of patience and effort for them to do this. Another experience I had was with one of my students. He came in vacation for 3 months and he left after a month. So I asked him, why are you leaving so early? And he said, sir, અહીંયા બેઠો બેઠો ખાલી time pass કરું છું. એક મહિનો તો ઘણું થઈ ગયું. I met all my relatives. I am comfortable. Now I am going back because for next 2 months I am alone. I have time in the lab. I can spend lab time from 8 in the morning till 12 at night. So I asked him, are you excited? He said, yes, I can enter the lab at 8 in the morning. I just check in. And the lab is open till midnight every day. In India, this is not possible. You know, when college closes at 4 in the evening or 5 in the evening, everybody is home. And he said, I'll get the lab to myself for 2 full months. My
Wow.
next term, I will be ready before the term starts. This is the type of drive or commitment. The same student did his undergraduate in Rajkot, and he told me, I regret doing undergraduate in Rajkot because I wasted 4 years here. So that's a dilemma that he's talking about. Right? Yes.
Thank you, sir. This session has been very insightful and very helpful, especially to me, because I'm
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
planning to go to USA for
It's been
undergraduate.
my
So thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kanchi. I guess Paresh bhai has lost the connection. Thank you all the participants. Thank you Parag bhai. Thank you Deepak bhai. And last but not the least, thank you Ajesh bhai for spending this time. We are like almost on time. We started 5:05 and it is 6:06. 1 hour of beautiful, wonderful insights. And I wish, like being a patriotic person, I wish once, like after 10 or 20 years, you say the similar things about India. And
No, I love this country. That's why I am here. But
yeah,
one of the dilemma I have is that yes, our education has to improve. This is the only way forward, right? And I am critical, but I am positive. India is
true,
still a great country. I mean, I am a first-class citizen in my country.
true.
Yeah. Thanks a
With
lot.
this,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you all. Tomorrow we have one session by Dharti Rathod. She's again one of our council member. And as you all know from the poster you have been shared, this is a series of 7 days session, 12 hours of wisdom, and we are doing this every day, different timings. Tomorrow is again evening time, starting from 4:30 to 6, 4 to 5:30, sorry. And the topic is on impression. Have what things you can take care uh, for the first impressions. And she's our council member, Miss Dharti Rathod, and you can get the details. Like if you have the poster, you can get the details from the number mentioned, or you can message here your email ID, and I can forward you the details. Uh, thank you so much, Ajesh bhai.
Thank you again, man. Yeah.
I'll close in 30 seconds. If you want to mention your email IDs, you can. I'll close in 30 seconds.
Our phone number is there, so I think it's good enough. Anybody can just call up and come. It's not an issue. We are very open, so not an issue at all. Yeah.
Okay. Good day.
Thank you.